Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to MudGolems versus Nigma in the Epic League in the round robin stages as well. This will be game one. Hopefully these two teams will be able to put up quite a show for us and give us something truly exciting to watch. We saw in the previous series, Secret got absolutely ronked on by Viking.gg. We'll see if this series is going to be just as one-sided or hopefully a little bit more back and forth. Make it an exciting one to watch. Nigma sign off with the Ench ban and Magnus ban for the side of MudGolems. MudGolems, they've been loving to run Faceless Void, so I imagine if Nigma doesn't ban that out, MudGolems probably snap that up straight away. Well, Nigma, they love to just lead up with something like a Rubik pick or even a Shen grab. So if either of those two is still in the pool, he would take them up. But the Faceless Void does get taken away, so you could potentially see the Snapfire as well. That's also another high value pick on the side of MudGolems. They're actually going to grab the IO instead, and then instantly followed up by an anti-apparition, an ancient apparition. So there is that ability just to completely counter the effects coming out from the IO. Reduce all of the HP, its HP regen. So whoever he's tearing with isn't really going to get healed that much at all. Ah, MudGolems, why? I hate when people do this. What is this pairing? I hate IO and Spectre. I really do. It's so worthless. The Nigma even counter out the Spectre by taking the Viper now before it has the chance of getting banned. Oh, it's so bad. These ultimates, they do not work well with each other. It's so counterproductive having two global abilities on two heroes that are always going to be paired with each other when the Spectre doesn't eat its own global ability. It's pretty dumb. Not a fan. Not a fan at all. I don't know. You never know, MudGolems might be able to prove me wrong and actually completely wrong Nigma up here and just win the series either way, but we'll have to wait and see. I mean, I'm not saying that it's like a guaranteed loss, but it definitely just loses the general effectiveness of having that ability for the IO to relocate whoever they're with to give him global presence. But the Spectre doesn't need that. He already has global presence. Or she already has global presence. So, yeah, just obviously a little bit of a waste of a pick, in my opinion, but to each their own. MudGolems, they might just like this pairing. So MudGolems focusing the bans on the position one, take away the Sven, take away the PA. Meanwhile, Nigma to take away sort of the off lane or the mid laners. Could potentially see something like the Miracle Anti-Mage coming out, perhaps. He does enjoy playing this hero, and it's quite elusive as well, so it's always able just to dodge away from the Spectre if ever he's in a little bit of an unfavourable matchup. The MudGolems ban out the Lifestealer, as you would expect. The two Nigma are going to take away is their final ban. Perhaps they might just take away the Snapfire, as it is a quite high priority pick for the side of MudGolems. I'll actually take away the Lena instead. And they'll instantly snap up the Earth Spirit in response. We'll see what MudGolems are going to grab for their third pickup. I mean, they've got a very, very defensive pairing with the IO and the Spectre. So maybe they just want to grab three heroes which can sort of set some sort of tempo to actually get a little bit more momentum in the early portions of the game and not just purely put all their eggs in the basket of hoping the Spectre gets late enough into the portions of the game where it can just carry, despite the fact that it's been countered by Viper already. There's just the GH and Miracles hero left to pick up. MudGolems actually go for the Oracle. It's quite potent into the hands of Fata, so they've got these two super defensive supports, both being able to heal and sustain, but I mean there's already been an Ancient Apparition pick, so if the Io or the Oracle, well I mean whoever gets targeted either way gets hit by the Ancient Apparition, they're not going to be healed at all. So I'm not sure how I feel about this Oracle pickup. It feels a little bit counterintuitive when you're going up against an Ancient Apparition. I mean, the Fate's Edict on the Oracle, it will actually reduce the magic damage coming out from the Ancient Apparition, but even still, the whole point of an Oracle is you could just heal people up all the way up to full HP, but if they get hit by the AA ultimate, it's going to do piss all anyway. Maybe I have to see if it comes to bite me in the ass. I think when they do actually give the anti-mage, especially seems how there is the target of the Oracle now has a nice mana pool. If he runs out, it's just a walking bomb for the rest of his team. So it's just Mind Control Hero left to pick up for the side of Nigma. They're sort of, I mean, they've got the AE ultimate, but they sort of need something else to really assist them in these team fights. I know it's a meme, so possibly Mind Control Tidehunter. I mean, he does like to play Sanking as well, but I don't know, Sanking, he never really plays that well. It always has really poor matchups. Well, not matchups, but it just really underperforms quite a lot of times he gets grabbed. MudGolems actually grabbed the LC. Now this is possibly a dangerous play, purely for the fact that the LC, if she's not getting really early jewels on in the early portions of the game, then she's not going to scale as well, in which case their mid-game portion is going to start dropping off purely with the fact that the LC won't have any damage and the Spectre won't have any damage. So they need to grab their last pick of someone who can set up some ganks for this LC to really make it a little bit worthwhile. But I mean, this is good because now it means that the IO is most probably going to be going into the off lane with the LC instead. So now the LC has global presence. That's going to be a nice easy setup to get these dual victories. And then it's just going to be the Oracle instead babysitting the Spectre in the safe lane. So yeah, these three picks actually for the side of MudGolems, on paper they sound like they could work. So they're going to want to pick up someone in the mid lane who can quickly dish out some damage to just guarantee these dual victories. Or maybe even just abuse the fact of someone who's held in place, maybe like the Invoker. Yeah, well, never mind. Nigma, they ban out the Invoker. So who else? Maybe even like a Zeus, when the Zeus gets his Ags online. Then we'll have that Nimbus Cloud, so you have the Nimbus plus the Thunder God's Graph. Just give extra global presence, as well as the Spectral Haunt from the Spectre. Yeah, Zeus could definitely work quite well. I mean, they are sort of lacking big frontliners. LC can be a little bit tanky to later stages of the game. But even still, the counter attack from LC, if she drills someone, it's not the Viper, and then just gets a Nevertox in her face, it is a large portion of DPS taken away from that passive just being removed completely. So see if that goes and bites him in the ass, or whether it won't really make too much of a difference. We'll have to wait and see. I mean, you could even possibly see the Nature's Prophet coming out for the site. Oh, never mind, that gets banned. Okay, so Zeus is available in the pool. I wouldn't be too surprised if we saw Zeus pop up now. I mean, it is a big mana target for the anti-mage, and it is difficult for him to escape from the AM. But then there would always be the Oracle to try and put the false promise onto him, and just try and keep him alive if the AM does engage onto the Zeus. I mean, the Storm Spirit's already gone, which would have been another hero to really assist the LC in bringing people down. Who else could they possibly grab in the mid lane? I mean, I don't know if Boromir plays Snapfire, in which case they could potentially. No, wait, never mind. They banned out the Snapfire themselves, so that's not going to come out. I'm missing all these bans, man. So they're actually going to go for the Wind Ranger. So with the Shackle set up, if I'm assuming this is going to be a mid Wind Ranger, I'm pretty much guaranteed. So if this is going to be every time that Boromir gets a Shackle set up, we'll probably see an immediate relocate coming out from IO and the LC to just get an easy duel. Then hopefully bring them down before any of the supports on the side of Nigma can get involved. But every single time, LC's is going to be a sitting duck for this AA ultimate plus the Never Toxin from the Viper. So may potentially need to see a relatively early BKB coming out from the LC. Or maybe even an Axe. An Axe could work out quite nicely. I think if he gets a few early duel victories, he might go for an Axe. Purely because then it's only you and your target actually do damage to each other. So if LC, you've already got a few bonus dual victory damages, and that could work out. We'll have to wait and see. Nigma are actually going to take the Timbersaw as their offlaner in the hands of my control. Definitely a little bit disrupted for the Spectre to try and farm up against it, but not too bad, not the end of the world. I mean, looking at these lineups, I mean, I like the thought process and the battle plan that's coming out from MudGolems here. Like, a couple of good global presences and the Shackle set up for either the Spectre to come in or the IO and the LC to come in. But it's quite difficult to try and lock down this anti-mage. I mean, the one good thing is that an anti-mage cannot counter-spell a Legion Commander's dual victory because he just immediately duels them back, and so it does exactly the same thing. So really the only key counter spell target is either going to be the Diabolic Edict from the Oracle or the Shackles coming out of Wind Ranger. But apart from that, it's not really super effective. But yeah, I think MudGolems' entire strategy completely revolves around 33 and Milan doing a decent job on the offlane. If they get shut down, then it's going to look pretty rough for them. Unless Boromir goes absolutely nuts in the mid lane and just completely destroys Weeha, which is definitely a difficult thing to do. Especially when you're up against a Viper. So there's a little bit of a tall order here for the side of MudGolems, but we'll see if they're able to do it. See if they're able to execute their plan effectively, and we're going to take this first game away from Nigma. Not the easiest task in the world, but I believe they can do it. They definitely have the skill. They're definitely a strong team. I mean, as I was saying in the previous series, they did manage to actually 2-0 secret in one of the previous tournaments. So they got the skill. Let's just see if their battle plan is effective enough to actually take the victory. But it looks like Nigma, they're actually going to swap their lanes around a little bit. They're sending Timbersaw down towards the safe lane to hopefully try and bait out the play from 33 and Milan. But immediately there's a smoke up coming out from MudGolems. And they're still just hanging around towards the jungle, maybe expecting someone to be around in this area to try and go for the first bounty. But I mean, GH has done pretty much the exact opposite thing, just gone really deep into the enemy jungle, put his own deep ward down. And so super deep vision from both teams here. And that ward actually spots out Boromir, so Nigma realised the move that they just made and they're able to completely evade it. Oh, but it looks like Milan. He's actually spotted mind control. Denying beeps. So, This is a very nice read by MudGolems. They should actually be able to completely swap their lanes around, and 33 and Milan are going to be able to just make their way towards the top lane instead. We'll see if Mind Control is going to try and just run all the way up top. It looks like he will. Miracle's already down here. So maybe... but there you go. MudGolems, they realise they try and swap it, and they're actually just going to stay in the same lane. So 33 and Milan are going to stay down bottom, and they're still going to be paired up against Miracle, so... Nice movements from them. That even with their ward, they'll spot the fact that Mind Control is heading back towards the top lane. Laughing beeps, friendly beeps. Miracles, Mind Control. Oh, okay, he's turning around again. He's heading back towards. No, he doesn't know what he's doing. Now he's heading back towards bottom again. No, he's heading back towards top. No, he's heading back towards bottom. Mind Control, where are you going? Make up your mind. He doesn't know. All right, he's heading towards bottom. Maybe he's just going to become a glorified support. No, but Miracle's now starting to run towards top. This is such a lot of wasted time, though. Miracle's going to be like a good couple of creep waves behind. This is the two supports on the side of Nigma are both in their own lane, top. Mind Control's finally down bottom where he's meant to be, but Miracle's still having to run all the way back up. This is immediate swap. Skier now teleports down to the bot lane. But I mean, it's pretty much... You can't just TP straight away, because then if you try and TP back the other direction, then Miracle will just do his own TP and head back towards the bot lane. There's one benefit of running across the map, but... I mean, as we see, he's missed quite a lot of creeps. And it looks like 33... Is he going to start running towards the top? Or is he just going to make some stacks? Okay, so we TP's back to the top lane. But Nigma will see this, and then surely Mind Control Miracle's just going to TP back out. Or is he actually just going to stay in this lane? Okay, so actually going to see this as a tri lane. 33 ends up getting connected. Kicks back from GH as well. The stun from Croaky doesn't quite connect, but the last hit is finally there. And 33 does actually end up falling. He's already TP'd into this lane, so he's going to have to run all the way back himself. This whole start of this game is in complete shambles for both teams. Well, I mean, less so for Nigma now. And even GH and Miracle now are diving really deep. Just going to try and find Fata. And they will actually spot him, but not quite able to close him off to get the kill. And he tries to go for the kill onto Miracle's courier, but he ends up getting booted in the face by the Air Spirit and drops before he can do that. So now Miracle, he's nearly level 3. 33's having to run all the way back up here. He even gets spotted out by this deep ward. And it looks like Kuroki and GH, they're going to be ready and waiting. Trying to keep him stunned in place. Slow comes out from the kick forward from GH there, but Milan's rotated around now. Even Fata's TP'd up top. So, and Boromir actually looked like he had to go all the way back to base. I think he got pretty low. So, Weeha, he's going to be level 5 after this wave, and Boromir is only halfway to his level 4? This is awful. This is really bad for the side of MudGolems. I mean, in the early portions of the game, they're already 1,000 XP behind. That is horrendous. That's really bad. I mean, I thought Nigma was in a bad state. The fact that Miracle had to run all the way up to top and he missed a couple of waves, but I mean, Nigma, they've quickly recovered from that, and they've put themselves in such a dominant position now in these laning phases. I mean, Skeet is the only one on the side of MudGolems that hasn't suffered greatly. Top of the CS chart, and he is he's doing alright on levels as well. Pardon me. But it's like GH, he's rotating around, tries to get a connection onto Bora. But Bora's already used his wind run, so he can't escape from this, and that's just a free kill going towards Weeha. Bora can't do anything to survive that, so Weeha, he's halfway to his level 5 now. And halfway to his level 6, sorry. And Boromir is only a quarter of his way to his level 5. You're right. Okay, so you know where I said that the early portions need to go really well for 33. Otherwise, Boromir needs to absolutely crush his lane. Boromir has definitely not crushed his lane. So there is a huge amount of pressure now on 33 to perform. Sure, he's already died. But as long as if he can get a couple of dual wins once he hits his level 6, It should be enough to actually give his team enough momentum to bring themselves back into this game, but GH, being a pesky little bastard, steals the creep kill there with the boot on the stone remnant, on the earth remnant. It is stone remnant. And across the board, just ends up being 2 for 2 on the bounty trade as well. I mean, despite the fact that this is the lane that Nigma was trying really hard to try and dodge, they're just quite happy to sit with it now. It seems like the lead they've got. GH, he rolls in, tries to get a connection onto 33 or Milan. Doesn't end up finding either one. But actually, Milan, he goes with the tether back towards 33. Now they're going to try and stand their ground. Doing a lot of damage onto Kuroki. Even Farter's rotated around here now. Miracle just drains all the mana away from 33. Even if he pops this Tango, it's not going to be enough to use the overwhelming odds. There's a few trades of spells there. No one gets horrendously low. But even still, it's just the mana burn that coming out from a Miracle that makes this lane really annoying for MudGolems. The 33 is always going to be struggling to keep himself actually spamming these abilities. And even when he manages to get his duel, he may struggle to actually find the mana to use it. In the mid lane, how's it going now? 30 and 12 for Weeheart and only 17 and 3 for Boromir. Quarter of his way to his level 6, and Weeheart's going to be level 7. Yeah, Weeheart is now level 7, and Boromir is still miles away. Miles away from his 6. GH is even set up around here. It looks like if Boromir steps out of position, this is going to be a super easy kill. I mean, he's so afraid he won't go anywhere near the creep wave. He just has to hide behind his tier 2 tower. Oh, he manages to get the kill onto Boromir's courier, but at least it managed to deliver his item just in time. Roll forward from DH, is off the mark, and now Boromir can use his Wind Run to try and evade some of this damage, but the Viper Strike's already come out, and the Wind Run runs out of its duration. Boromir is getting pretty low. The Spectral Horn comes out from Skia. He's going to get joined in here, and they're actually able to get a quick pick off onto Weeheart, although it does fall into the hands of Farter, so it's definitely not the player you want to actually get that kill. You needed it to either go into Boromir's hands or Skeeter to try and make all this lane catastrophe worthwhile. Then meanwhile up top, 33 was left all alone, and Kuroki and Miracle are enough to bring him down just by themselves. So yeah, it's looking dicey. It's looking very, very dicey for MudGolems. They've even still got 3 heroes in the mid lane. GH rolls forward, going to boot Skeeter back into the waiting arms of Weeheart. His Viper Strike up in 5 seconds. We'll see if they're able to keep him controlled for long enough for this to come off cooldown. It's about to come up now. We'll see who he ends up targeting it with. The Milan's getting pretty low. On one final hit, and that's actually enough to bring him down. Doesn't even bother using the Viper Strike at all. Kuroki shows up to the party, but he's miles late. And the smoke up now from the side of Nigma, and I don't think that was actually in vision of either of those 2 wards on the side of MudGolems. They can start running up this high ground, and they will just spot Skeeter farming up these creeps. Roll forward from GH, but it's off the mark. Won't get any connection there. Does go for the boot forward, that at least connects, so we'll slow down Skeeter for now. But the rotation coming in from Farter, we're going to try and keep him alive. Even Miracle's come in for this one, but there's no way Skeeter can survive this. And there's that Mana Void from Miracle. Just used purely to secure kills. Secure kills. I say that in a friendly way, also meaning steal kills, because that is what that ability is for. But even still, 33, halfway now towards his level 6. Going for that Blade Mail as his first item. Even still, no. Mind Control has just had complete free farm now down bottom. Safe lane, off lane tower gone by 9 minutes. Skeeter's actually rotate back around here, probably seeing just the huge creep army. Wants to farm this up. I think 33 was desperate to have his duel online then. Looks like GH though, he's still going to fall. Nice block there coming out, so he can't roll away. Meanwhile though, Weeheart's come out and he's got engaged. And now 33 is going to have to run away. He could have just gone for the TP out because there was no Mana Void or roll-in available just yet. And it looks like he's going to end up paying this decision with his life. Even Milan now gets caught out. Roll forward from GH, perfectly on target this time. And there's that Mana Void just to secure that kill. So this game is looking really bad now for the side of MudGolems. 8-1 on the score. 2k gold lead favouring Nigma. What's the XP lead like now? Moving up close to the 3,000 mark. And 33 is still not even level 6. He's level... Yeah, he's still level 5. Milan's still level 5. Meanwhile, Miracle's level 7. Weehar's level 7. Mind Control's level 8. Even GH is a higher level than both of them. Oh, and they're just going to run all the way back to the top lane as well. They're not even going to get there in time. This tower's going to be gone by the time you guys arrive. So another tier 1 tower falling from Nigma. And Mind Control is just setting himself up at this mid lane, just going to try and force this tier 1 tower down as well. 33 Milan's actually just been forced to go jungle. That's sad. Hey, ult comes in and doesn't actually connect onto Boromir. Just off to the side, farming up those creep waves. Double damage on GH. About to run out there. Can't make something too spicy happen. Don't go for the denied Borra. You just get yourself killed, man. So all tier 1's gone by 11 minutes in. And Nigma do not even have a tower pushing lineup. Like, Mind Control, Timbersaur's terrible at attacking towers. Anti-Mage, terrible attacking towers. Ancient Apparition bad. Earth Spirit bad. And Viper bad. None of them are actually good at destroying buildings, but even still, they're just in such a dominant position this game that they're able to take all 3 of them away. Oh. Really good. The Spectral Horn comes in from Skeeter because they managed to get a little bit of vision there onto Miracle. And that's a free kill. That's definitely what the side of MudGolems needed. Anything to keep themselves in this game. Because GH is trying to make something happen here, but just ends up using his Magnetize just to force Milan and Skeeter back. Oh, MudGolem, he finds Sparta trying to get a little bit of D-warding. He's just running completely opposite way. He just wants to waste as much time as he can. Realising that he is 100% dead. So it looks like 33. He's still 400 gold away from finishing up this Blade Mail. He's actually gone for the max levels in the Moment of Courage. Sure that it's quite a nice skill build to be able to get those dual victories, but you're up against a Viper. You can't always guarantee you're going to get those off. Boromir nearly gets connected on there by the Ancient Apparition ultimate, but just able to get that wind run off and stinks out of the blast radius. But yeah, like one Never Toxin, and basically all you've got is a level 1 overwhelming odds, a level 1 press the attack, and the level 1 duel. So he's just got to make sure he doesn't get hit by Never Toxin, I guess. But Mind Control is just playing so damn ballsy. Diving past the tier 2 at 13 minutes in, realising that he's just way too tanky for anyone on the side of MudGolems to actually deal with at this point. He's even just tanking tier 2 tower. He just wants to keep this catapult for his life as long as possible. Finally, the creep wave comes to alleviate a little bit of presence for him. Maybe still the glyph does finally pop for the side of MudGolems, going to force him away from that tower. Looks like up top though, few rotations are coming out, but Skeeter and Milan are already reading that moment and they bail out straight away. Even though GH though, he's charging forwards. He does actually get the spot onto Milan. Gets silenced up, not that it really does much. Roll forward now. Oh, nearly connects him mid-flight. We'll just go for the straight TP out. Oh, nearly! That was so close. That was a nice play there by GH trying to boot him back towards the Rod of Atos range from Weeha. It nearly worked. I think if he was just like on a slightly different angle, it probably would have actually connected in time. But either way, it's a cute little play. Unfortunately, it doesn't pay off this time, but it can't always. And there's four heroes from the side of MudGolems, all just around this bottom lane, but it doesn't matter. I still think even if all 4 of them collapse, they'd struggle just to kill Mind Control. And by the time they do get him weak, everyone on the side of Nigma would have rotated around in time. GH even spots out Boromir farming up. So it's 15 minutes in, and we're still yet to see a single duel attempt. I mean, 33, he's got his Blade Mail online now, so I suppose this is the time to try and find one. He is queued up the Blink Dagger as his next item, but if he waits till he farms that up, everyone else on the side of Nigma's is going to be that much more difficult to kill. So they've got to find something as soon as they can, but everyone on the side of Nigma, they're completely bailed from this top lane, so they're not going to find a single person. Everyone on the side of Nigma is so damn farmed up and tanky and leveled. Or even it's 15 minutes in, and he's aggressively just like he can take away these sort of camps, which are pretty much normally at this stage of the game would be guaranteed to only for the Dire to be able to take. Looks like they might be going to get a wraparound here. They're going to make a move onto Weeha. They're going to go for the latch. It doesn't actually connect on the scaffold. They're going to go for a dual attempt. It does actually manage to get it. Finally, they get a dual attempt onto 33. But they still got hit by everyone by the Ancient Apparition ultimate. It's going to take quite a bit of damage. There's a full spot that came out just in time. Boromir, he gets hit by the Mana Void, but he still had basically full mana, so he does 0 damage. 33 actually ends up getting healed up to full HP after the False Promise ends. Miracle, he's in quite deep now. Surrounded by everyone on the side of MudGolems. We'll see if they actually have enough to bring him down. A nice latch connects onto the creep. It didn't quite a bit of damage, but he drops the GG Branch as he flies past. Looks like it was an attempt to actually from Milan to try and block that, block the tether away, the chain away, but they couldn't quite get that connection. But even still, finally MudGolems find something. They get 2 kills, and they get a dual victory. So at last, something. Even still, Mind Control and Weeheart, they're both hanging around, and they will find a quick grab onto Milan, and he just evaporates in a second. Mind Control just cutting the Wisp in half. I mean, they're also level. They're both level 11. Level 11. GH level 9. 33 is level 9 himself. Boromir is level 11. What's Skeeter? He's 12 actually, so he's not doing too badly. Even still, it's all 3 calls on the side of Nigma, which are a decent level, but 33 is still the one who's just lacking behind. He's gone up to the top lane to try and recover, but whilst this is happening, just Mind Control with Weehaw, they don't even need creeps. They're just going to take away this tier 2 tower. And it's going to be available for them to capture the outpost before the 20-minute mark. They'll definitely just further their lead in this game if they can control it up, which they are most likely definitely going to try and focus down. I mean, there's still another 2 minutes before that moment comes, and the tier 2 down bottom is already down to half HP, so they could potentially just move down here and force this away. So what's Skeeter actually farming up for? He's got his Blade Man online, and he's going for that Manta Style. He's still about 1,000 gold away though, so he's not going to have it anytime soon. Oh, that ward is just out the range. So they can't actually see that, I don't think. But meanwhile, they're making a movement straight up forward onto Kuroki. He manages to fire with his ultimate. It actually passes through 33, so it's going to reduce his HP reduction a little bit there. He gets the jewel onto GH, but there's not enough damage to bring him down. He's going to have to force the retreat. Fire nearly drops to the Mana Void, but he barely manages to survive. And Milan's actually the only one to fall out of this entire engagement. But the aggression coming out from Nigma, they're trying to find somebody else. They couldn't quite get the connection there onto Fata, but even a defensive kickback from GH put Nigma Miracle back into safety. But Miracle just jumps straight back in there, finds a quick kill onto Fata. So they do manage to get a 2-for-1 trade. Both the sports on the side of MudGolems falling for the kill onto GH. But even still, it was a nice little play there by GH just to make sure that the anti-mage stayed safe. Oh, sorry, I just realised that it's been on creep CS this entire time rather than net worth. So it's, yeah, Miracle 2k over the top of Skeeter, and an anti-mage always farms faster, especially with the Battle Fury and the ability just to blink from camp to camp. It's always difficult to try and match the farming speed of this character. I mean, despite the fact of how under level 33 is, he still has better farm than Boromir. He's working towards that MKB. Does he actually? I think he has actually. He's coming on the courier. So he has an item, and it's a decent item at that. But it is literally his only item. He's got brown boots, a null talisman, and MKB. So he's putting a lot of faith onto the those proc chances when he activates his rapid fire, or his focus fire, sorry. But smoke up coming out now from MudGolems. They're going to head up to the high ground. If they actually get broken, they're going to charge straight onto Weeha, trying to focus down as quickly as they possibly can. See if they're able to get the duel victory. He's still able to survive. The duel runs out just before they can actually get the kill, so he won't get any bonus damage. Meanwhile, Boromir becomes the focus. Miracle gets an easy pick up onto him. Jump forward from GH, collects onto Milan. He just managed to get the terror off in time to retreat back into Farta's waiting hand, but it doesn't matter. It's not enough to keep him alive. Farta's just going to end up falling. And now 33 is in full retreat. Kuroki's keeping chase, just so he can keep the vision. Nice play there from 33, though. He fakes them out, thinking they're going to go the opposite direction. He actually just blinks straight into the Roshan pit and gets TP away. But, I mean, it's a cute little play, but it doesn't really matter. Ooh, I missed that one. So, they end up losing 3. They get a kill onto Weeha, but they still lose 3. And this is just going to set Nigma up to get a free Roshan kill. And that's going to be an Aegis into the hands of Miracle. And he's even got a Man-Style finished up now. MudGolems, they will scan this out. But no, they're not going to be able to get it in time. Well, he doesn't actually have the Man-Style finish. He does in 300 gold. He nearly has it. Jumping forward, you go for a duel onto Microshot, but everyone on the side of Nigma's really close by. They're not going to be able to get this duel victory at all. Skia trying to do a little bit of damage onto GH, finding the false promise, coming down 33 to try and keep him alive. And now this is We Are Microshot in the midst of everything, trying to stand their ground. Boromir gets focused down, it's absolutely obliterated. Now it's the Skia left, all alone. The Never Thompson on top of his dispersion doing absolutely nothing. Meanwhile, Miracle just jumps towards the back lines, focusing down Farta. It looks like he will eventually fall. Where did oh, the Skeeter actually got relocated out by Milan to put him into safety, but I mean, well, life for support. Milan's just going to end up paying for this with his life, but hey, he keeps Skeeter alive. That took a while. And now, 3 heroes dead on the side of MudGolems. They don't lose a single member on Nigma. They're just going to move straight onto this tier 3 in the high grounds. Still got the Aegis in tow. I'm not sure what MudGolems can do. This is not a team that can play from behind. They really need to have some sort of momentum onto their side, but they just don't have any sort of big team fight mechanics to actually try and bring themselves back into this one. Focus fire was committed there by Boromir, but it does absolutely nothing. And then he just gets easily set up, and the rest of Nigma just completely evaporate him. I mean, I wouldn't be too surprised if MudGolems just tap out with this game soon. This is looking incredibly dire. No pun intended. I mean, there's not a single target that 33 can jump on out of these 3. The only 3 members that are getting anywhere close for him to actually engage on. And there's no chance of him getting a single duel victory. Oh. See ya. He uses his ultimate defensively just to try and get out. Because the rest of the other 2 supports inside Nigma did collapse on his actual position. So he manages to evade that at least. But yeah, as I was saying, 33, his only chance of getting any more duel victories in the entirety of this game is either even GH. GH has nearly got 2,000 HP and 12 armor. How much defense is actually 12 armor? So that's 43% physical resistance. So yeah, Kuroki is pretty much the only hero which would die relatively quickly. But even still, you've then... Is there heals on... Yeah, so there's Guardian Greaves on Mind Control as well. So there's always just going to be that to heal up Kuroki if he ever does get targeted, but he's never in the position to get targeted, and they don't have the damage to really do much anyway. I mean, 33, he's got his Blink Dagger online, he's got his Blade Mail online, but I mean, apart from that, he doesn't really do much damage. He's now queued up for the Armlet of Mordigian, but is it too little too late? I think perhaps if he went for the Armlet over the Blade Mail, it could have worked quite nicely. It would have just given that little bit of early damage extra rather than the Blade Mail. Because obviously the Blade Mail is nice as it returns 80%. Oops, sorry. as it returns 80% of all damage. But is that damage as much as what the armlet would give in the early portions of the game? I mean, it definitely does now, for sure. But I think they probably could have got a couple of earlier dual victories if they went for that item instead. Fata, he's got Tranquils. Malam, he's got Mechanism at least, but not even Brown Boots. Does he? Well, the tether just matches the speed anyway, so it doesn't really matter. So Sporonir actually queued up. He's going for his BKB with his next item, but I mean, it's another defensive item. They've got no damage really on their team. They have no damage at all. Skeeter's got a Manta and a Blade Mail of his own, and he's working towards that Butterfly, but even still, he's only hitting for 140 damage a hit. Well, they say go, so we're probably about to begin. Already see 33 and Skeeter fall back. Downfall for Miracle gets an easy bash and actually takes away all the mana pool from 33. They're going to turn around. Maybe he's going to go for the duel. He's going to try and target. He will eventually go for the 33 now. There is a false promise of him. Looks like they might just about to get the kill onto Miracle, and Miracle will fall. Now Weehar's the target. He's getting focused bound by the rapid fire coming up from Boronia, but everyone on the side of MudGolems is completely bailed. They're not going to lend any sort of assistance. But hey, it's another dual victory going for 33. He's now on plus 30 damage. Ooh, a little bit this time there by Kuroki. Not that it matters. I think Melantis is going to fall anyway. Because he gets stun locked in place. So, I mean, it's... well, it's not a victory at all, really. They lose Boronia. They lose Malam. They get a kill onto Miracle, but it's just the Aegis. It's literally just the Aegis. So he's going to come back up. They don't give a crap about giving him an extra 20 plus damage. Ooh. Not going to make much of a difference at this point in the game. So another tier 3 falls for the side of Nigma. Working on their meter ranks now. Downfall from 33. He gets the duel onto Miracle with his Blade Bomb activated. Will he be able to get the duel victory in time? He does actually manage to get it, but it looks like he will pay with this with life. 33 will end up paying. He falls instead. Milan's now getting focused on by Weehar. Even Skeeter gets caught. Now hit by the Viper Strike. He quickly falls. There is a buyback on 33 Milan, but is that enough to actually make any sort of plays happen? They get the kill onto Miracle, sure, but it costs 3 lives. 3 very expensive lives. Jump forward again from Mind Control. Just slowing down Far. Going to set up for an easy roll connection from GH. Far falls. Even Bora, yeah, gets caught up by the Scepter. Roll fall from GH once again. Easy setup. And that's another kill. 33 is up in 3 seconds, and then Skeet will be up in 12. So could potentially try and see some sort of crazy play to maybe get a kill onto Kuroki, perhaps. But Milan, he's actually just going to go for the relocate and just try and grab these bounty runes. Sure, it's not exactly like it's going to be game-changing, but it's a little bit of extra gold for his team to try and pull themselves back into this. Meanwhile, while all this is going on, 33 is now getting targeted. Milan will just about relocate back in time to heal him up. Now Weehar's in the retreat. Ski's in the front lines, trying to do as much work as he possibly can. 33, he jumps forward, he gets the duel now onto Weehar. Will they have enough damage to actually bring him down? Probably not. Yeah, but it connects onto both of them. 33 just disappears. It ends up going to bonus damage now onto the Weehar. Far just falls in seconds. And now Ski and Milan just has to run away as fast as they possibly can. 33 even bought back for this, doesn't find anything. And Nigma, they don't even want to retreat, they're just going to keep pushing on to the tier 4s now. A 22k gold ahead. Absolutely all massively farmed. Looks like now they might fall back. I just don't think they can be bothered to go and push top lane and take that tier 2 tower. They just want to end this game now. Where did you go? Not sure where Miracle went. Oh, Miracle went backwards. 33's hiding in the trees. But yes, actually gets found out by Miracle. Drains all of his mana. There's no dual victory coming out there. 33 gets immediately blown up. Everyone gets hit by the Magnetize coming out from GH. Nice shackle there, comes out from Boromir, but I mean, there's no damage follow-up. Even Boromir gets hit by the Ancient Apparition ultimate and he ticks down to that. And then Parter just gets slowly brought down, forces another buyback. Looks like maybe Nigma's going to disengage now, but oh, not before Miracle finds one more kill onto Milan. And then they're just going to keep pushing forward. MudGolems, they tap out. I mean, this game was so damn brutal for them. Absolutely brutal. It was super chaotic as well, just the whole laning phase of people just swapping around, trying to get the favourable matchup. It looked like to begin with it was going to really punish Nigma, but they actually ended up getting the first blood onto 33, and then after that everything just completely spiraled out of control. Purely for the fact that 33 had to TP up to that top tower, and then once he died, he didn't have that TP to come back, he had to walk all the way back, and by then he was a full level behind against the tri-lane as well. He could just never get a dual victory. And Boromir, he also got completely shut down the mid lane. Weehawk getting a solo kill onto him, and then GH rotating around, getting another easy pick off. It was just a massive cascading event of disaster after disaster for MudGolems, and eventually they fall. There's nothing else. They had nothing left in the tank. They just could not keep themselves going. So unfortunately for them, they do lose it. But Nigma played absolutely amazingly that game. Just crushed MudGolems super hard. So we'll see if MudGolems are going to be able to bounce back and maybe take this to a series game 3, or if Nigma they're just going to do that again and just completely wipe the floor of MudGolems. We'll have to wait and see. So hopefully I'll see you guys for that game. But yeah, if you guys have enjoyed what I've been able to do so far, then please think about following me on Twitch, Twitter, or on YouTube if you're watching it on there. But I announce on the Twitter what games I'm going to be casting, what's coming up next. So yeah, hopefully you guys have enjoyed what I'm able to do and you stick around for game 2 of Nigma vs MudGolems. So hopefully I'll see you guys in that. Cheers.